FDA and the Institute for Safe Medication Practices have launched a nationwide educational campaign to eliminate the use of potentially harmful abbreviations in all forms of medical communications. That includes written medication orders, computer-generated labels, pharmacy entry screens, and commercial medication labeling, packaging, and advertising. It's important not to use error-prone abbreviations even in printed materials. First, they can still be misinterpreted. Second, they could be copied into handwritten orders where they're liable to be confused. And finally, using these abbreviations in print perpetuates the idea that they're acceptable.
As part of their campaign message, FDA and ISMP are recommending that whenever medical information is communicated, individual practitioners and institutions refer to the Do Not Use list of abbreviations, symbols, and dose designations. Those are the ones most often associated with medication errors. Now let's take a look at some of the items on that list.
First, the abbreviations U and IU. The U can easily be mistaken as the number 0, particularly when the U is written too closely after the number. This can lead to tenfold overdoses. And IU can be mistaken for IV or the number 10. So instead of using U and IU, use the terms unit and international unit.
Next, there's QD, meaning every day, and QOD, meaning every other day. QD can be mistaken as QID, meaning 4 times a day, especially if the period after the Q or the tail of the Q is misunderstood as an I. Conversely, QOD can be mistaken for QD or QID if the O is poorly written. Now, the solution is to write out daily or every other day.
Then there's the possible confusion with dose designations that include decimal points. A trailing 0 after a decimal point can make 1.0 milligrams look like 10 milligrams if the decimal point isn't seen. Similarly, 0.5 milligrams can look like 5 milligrams. So don't use trailing zeros for doses expressed in whole numbers, and be sure to use a leading 0 when the dose is less than a whole unit.
Finally, some drug names should never be abbreviated. For example, confusion between the abbreviations for magnesium sulfate and morphine sulfate has led to serious errors. Here, write out magnesium sulfate or morphine sulfate. The ISMP list has many more examples of potentially dangerous abbreviations.
FDA and ISMP also have several recommendations on how healthcare practitioners can help eliminate the use of error-prone abbreviations. For example, provide staff with a do not use list in an easy-to-reference format. Post reminders in patient care areas, your intranet, and internal newsletters. And work with software vendors to make changes in computer programs for order entry, labeling, and medication printouts. To learn more about FDA and ISMP's campaign and to get useful tools to help avoid the use of ambiguous medical abbreviations, go to the website on your screen.